ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another fantastic weekend of Formula One racing here on the EGL Extreme Gaming League. I'm Tipsy Bob, and joining me on the mic is my trusty sidekick and my good friend, Dad Bats. Covering all the action today, we're going to be covering everywhere from Monaco, Singapore, Abu Dhabi, and Bahrain, all across the world, all across the country. We have a full grid lined up, some of the best talent around the world. We have plucked them from all corners of the earth to give you some of the greatest racing experience footage you'll ever see in your lifetime. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the EGL. There we go, once and all the cars are all lining up on the grid. They're all getting ready. The drivers will be focusing on their first corner. Are they going to take it? What are they going to do? Is it going to go deep? Are they going to go? Who knows? Let's take it out. Away we go! DRS is still active, and if Timo wants to get this moved on, he's gonna need to use this DRS zone, because I have a feeling... Oh no, Timo, cancel the first indiscretion zone! I pressed to mount up another overtake on 23 trademark. This is round 3 quarter.
And Timo are oh, he hits the pit! Oh no! Oh my god, this so sorry, control myself. So Timo
I wouldn't be gonna finish the two so they can stand at the back together again. Just like Timo likes it.
How many times? Did you see how many times Timo tried to get into the pit?
And here is the man himself, 2 podiums this week. Mr. Ocean Chief going to take us for a hot lap around Silverstone through turn 1, through turn 2, braking just after the 100 meter mark for turn 3, clipping the apex very nicely indeed, running wide then for turn 4, onto the first of 2 DRS straights. And just clipping the inside there down the Wellington straight. This is a 26.7 from Chief, and if anyone can get to that today, they'll probably be in the top half of the grid, I would have thought. Through Brooklands and into Luffield. You run a little bit wide in the middle of the corner and get the power down for the exit all the way through now. The speed is carried all the way through Woodcut and into Copse, which in most trims here without destroyed tyres is completely flat. In these cars, you run onto the curb on the exit, get it to the right hand side and clip the inside of Maggots through Beckett's. First part, second part, very easy to get warnings there. The third part you've really got to set up for, because again we got a long straight, a DRS straight afterwards, the hanger straight, and you bring the car all the way to the left hand side into Stowe Corner. You'd go down to like 5th gear or so thereabouts, maybe 6th if you're trying to drive it a little bit more calmly. Get to the exit and down into Club. The very tight last couple of corners through the chicane, running wide there and clipping the final apex for, in fact that's a 26.6 from Chief, even faster than I thought. And as I said, if anyone gets to that today, and I put it on loop by accident, never mind. We're going to get into the session now. That is the hot lap, the qualifying hot lap. And just to check that we have, yeah, we are live in the session itself. And Etney immediately puts in a 26.6. I am Terra, by the way. And alongside me for this one, it's a special occasion because we don't have Timo in the commentary box today. He's on his way home still, I think, from some sort of party. Alongside me instead is Mr. Tipsy Bob. How you doing, Tipsy? Oh, sorry. I'm going to do that again because I forgot to put your audio on. So here's Tipsy Bob. How you doing, Tipsy?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
Sorry about that.
I'm delighted to be here, sitting in for the wonderful Timo, and I won't pee in his seat, of course. But yes, I have to commend you, Tara. Doing a hot lap live VC, it is no mean feat. You know, as you know, I do quite a few of them, and the amount of retakes and swear words that I use when I'm trying to record mine, to do it live, that's mega. And also, to get straight into it, you were saying there that lap time from Chief will be a difficult one to beat. Well, as you rightly pointed out, we already have Ethnic onto him already, 26.6.
Yeah, 26.6 is very fast indeed, especially in the first part of the session. So I wonder if we're going to get a 25 here today. We got Luke Smith, aka Mr. Vexit himself, who's going to try and do, I think, a lap on mediums. In fact, he is he on a lap at the moment? I think he is. As he comes through Woodcut, we'll follow the second half of this lap live. And yeah, like I think pole for Tier 3 was a 27.0. I think there were some people in the 26s yesterday in Tier 2, but certainly we that time for Etney would have been very competitive in well, it would have been pole in Tier 3 by a lot, and it would have been very competitive as well in Tier 2. So yeah, I think we're in for a good session today.
Yeah, man, and you can see a lot of these guys are running with the medium run first. Probably going to try to see where they're going to fit after their first run. Generally, you'll kind of want to see you'll expect to see these Tier 1 guys try to get into the top 10 on the mediums because it is a superior strat. But also want to make what you mentioned to, or we can make a mention for Jensen. He is racing today, as we didn't think we were going to get him, and apparently, Tara, he's racing on a brand new wheel.
Yeah, I heard that he's taken the Fanatec plunge, so we can expect to. Well, I don't know how it's going to go for him because he said he's still a couple of tenths off. Meepo spun, by the way. He's getting back on track. We might see a few spins from Meepo today, unfortunately. Not used to driving without assists, but he's going to do his best. But yeah, Jensen said he was a couple of tenths off, which isn't that surprising. You know, you got to get used to it. I think in the long run he'll be as fast, if not faster. But yeah, it takes some adjustment.
Yeah, I am looking forward to this one. Tara, I often say many times in the Discord chat that Tier 1 is where it's at. And whenever we get all the guys on track, you know, pretty much almost a full grid, it is just a marvel to behold, to watch these guys. It is so difficult to pick a winner from any of them. I mean, we have you know, reigning champions, you know, ex-champions, 2S champions. We're spoiled rotten.
Yeah, we certainly are. We got Speedy back for a second week, and I think we might see him a little bit more often. Mr. Speed, let's show him on track here. He's in the Aston Martin. He's second on the grid at the moment with 26.9, which is really fast. But yeah, he's an ex-champion. We got Etney back, who's an ex-champion. Of course, we got Copy as well. The two Williams, by the way, are, I think, thinking about Slipstream as they're on their outlaps together at the moment. But yeah, like it's such a high-quality field. We love Tier 1.
Yeah, and just a wee mention on Speedy, I had the absolute pleasure to crew chief him yesterday in Tier 2. I give up my slot for Speedy because he needs the practice for Tier 1, and you know, he did well. I think he qualified in the top 10, and unfortunately on the last lap he lost it. So good practice though for him, Tara, today, and I'm really looking forward to see what he can do. I think he's already almost on par with what he was doing yesterday, so you know, I'm expecting good things for Speedy today.
Yeah, and we got Bailey to come as well. I think Vexit, by the way, was doing a mediums lap where he invalidated intentionally. Don't think he wanted to do that lap. Maybe saving a set of softs for the race in case there's a safety car, something like that. But I think we can expect some low 26s at least before the end of this session. Speaking of, here's Etney on a hot lap. And like I said, I just wonder if Copy's thinking about any sort of a slipstream here, because he hasn't put a time in yet. But might be down to help each other out, the Czech boys and the Williams.
Just as you say that, Ethnic has done a 27.3 first sector, and
That's
what we
insane.
have seen throughout the week, specifically tier 2, if you're hitting the first sector 27.3 or better, and you can hold it together, you're in for a proper low 26 lap, very
Yeah.
low 26.
I think my fastest ever sector 1 was a 0.5 this week. So yeah, that's extremely fast. We're going to see the second sector split very shortly indeed, and Etney is nearly 2/10 up, so we could be seeing a very fast lap again from our, season 1 champion Etney? I think maybe season 2, I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man.
Chief will confirm for us, I'm sure. The fount of all SLR wisdom. Copy does a 26.8, good lap from him. Across the line goes Etney at 26.4.
My goodness, the Williams boys are here to race, Ter.
Yeah, they certainly are.
Two ex-champions, that as well. My goodness, what a team Williams have.
Yep, and they, I think, are working together as well. So maybe for the last run, we'll see something that gives one of them some sort of a slipstream. We have a new driver as well, TTG Scars, who I have to confess I don't know anything about. In the Red Bull, who we're watching at the moment, he's on a hot lap and going through Luffield.
Sorry, Ter. Danny has an off-track excursion, I think they call them, and he has donated his front wing to the barrier.
Oh dear.
Hanger Street.
So Barrett, yeah, Danny mentioned he hadn't done any practice before this one, so we'll forgive him that one. He's got a couple more runs to go. He's done a 27.3, excuse me. So who was that completing a lap? I think it was Jensen on a 27.0. So again, a solid lap from him. We got Astro as well on a 27.0. Who else is on a lap at the moment? I think Icewind. Oh, Icewind's half a second up, so Icewind could be putting this inside the top 5. If we run on board his front wing through the last couple of corners. Oh, a little bit sideways on exit. Looked pretty good, though. Crosses the line. It's a 26.7 into 4th place.
Just want to let the people know as well, anyone who's watching, feel free to...
Oh,
of course, everyone's all-inclusive in SLR. Get the chat in the chat active and keep a close eye on it. And just quickly, Tara, to give you the details, Mr. Chief has indeed been in chat, the font of all SLR knowledge, and he tells us Season 1 was Ethnic, Season 2 Copy, and Season 3 was Speedy. So we have the debut 3 season champions all on track today.
Yeah.
Of course, we also have the EGL Drivers Champion of Bailey. And Jensen won it as well. So my goodness, we are spoiled today.
Yeah, Jensen did win it. He had to work hard for it to beat a very good driver to win that one, I remember. Did Jensen. That's EGL 5. I remember it very well. But but yeah, we got some quality in this field. Mr. Scars, by the way, and also Mr. Mark, who I don't know anything about either, but they're a TTG team. So they've gone 2nd and 3rd, so they're obviously no slouches. Speedy is level with his time in Sector 2. So we'll see if he can manage a better Sector 3. He needs a 10th or so to get into the top 5 here. And I think we might be having the calm before the storm here, because the last run will be crucial. You get a little bit more grip at the end of the session. In F1, Speedy does marginally improve, but only marginally, 26.931. And who else is on track? Justin, I think, is on a lap at the moment. He's decided not to watch FP3, and he's going to do the SLR Tier 1 race instead.
Justin Terra, I see he's been active in the chat, informing everyone that he says all his settings have reset from controls to graphics to setups. So we don't know how hampered Justin is at the moment on track, but no doubt he'll put on his best showing. But yeah, that's not very helpful, especially taking up against these guys in Tier 1.
That's really unfortunate. Yeah, you don't want that. That's happened to me before. in F1, which really sucks. Oh, he's very, very close to invalidating there on the first part of Beckett's. It looked okay then. Oh, just a little bit late in the final part of Beckett's, and 3.2, I think that's a little way down. I think we're looking at a low 27 for this one for Justin, unless I'm completely wrong, which I might be. But into the last corner. It said it was a purple middle sector. I find that a little bit hard to believe. But into club he goes. Ooh, just a little bit. Straightens out the wheel a little bit too much and invalidates on the exit of club. And yeah, it's a 27-1. So
yeah,
it would
put on P8.
Yeah, it would possibly have been a very good lap, I think, for Justin. But unfortunately, not able to complete it. Luke Smith, meanwhile, what's Vexit doing here? He's invalidated again. Is he going to start at the back? Because he feels like it. I have a feeling that might be the case. But we'll wait to see.
Yeah, you see, because the medium soft is a great strat to run. I didn't want to get into strats just yet. I was maybe hoping to get into that in the formation lap, but I might as well just get into it now. You can run mediums pretty much all the way in this track. So these guys will be pitting anywhere from lap 6 up to 10. I reckon maybe lap 8 will be the sweet spot for the undercut. We've seen Crystals do that yesterday, and of course that got him the win. So yeah, I'm not sure what Vex is doing.
Yeah, it might be that he wants to start on mediums. The thing is about starting on mediums here, you really run a risk if there's an early safety car that you're just going to be completely marooned and either have to do a green flag pit stop or have to put the hard tires on, which you really don't want to do around here. They're terrible. So that's a little bit of a concern. Makenda is on a good one here, 4.5 tenths up in sector 2. We have a yellow. That's a Ferrari letting somebody past. And through the final couple of corners will go Makenda, and I have a feeling this is going to be again somewhere in the top 5, maybe somewhere around his teammate and countryman Mr. Icewind. He's going to cross the line, and oh, it's better than that even. It's almost pole. 26.4 for Makenda.
Makenda is the guy I've nicknamed Mickey Leander because he's an alien and he wasn't want to admit it. 26.9 taking on the likes of Ethnic, my goodness, man. And both Williams are on track for their final run, Ter. So I'll be keeping an eye on these guys. I'll be keeping an eye on Copy because I think he's got a few more tenths left in him. And I'll tell you another one too. I know for a fact Speedy has a few more tenths left in him as well, Ter.
Yep, and I think Bailey does too. 27.327 first sector. That's extremely fast. Through Cops he goes again, completely flat through there into Maggots and Beckett's. Gonna ride on board with him for this as Mark does a 26.295. That's a very fast lap indeed. Bailey crosses the second split and does a 2.9, which is really good. And so this might be somewhere near the top 3 for Bailey. We're going to keep an eye on Scars as well, because obviously those boys are very fast indeed. Here's Bailey through the last couple of corners. Nice and smooth on exit. It looked pretty good to me. Crosses the line 26.506 P4 for Bailey. Good stuff.
So Ethnic is up by a tenth already in Sector 1. Copy is not improved at all, but he's not too far off it. So Ethnic is definitely on the charge here.
Yeah, 27.3 first sector. Again, very close to Bailey's time through there and very close to his previous time. We're going to watch on board here with Etney as he just takes the widest line he can, the line of least resistance, as Martin Brundle would say, through Cops and into Maggots and Beckett's now. Can hit the apex very nicely. It's so smooth. You wouldn't think it was a fast lap at all, but it is an extremely fast lap. He's 400ths up. Is Etney into Sector 3. We're going to keep an eye on Scars as well, who's just started his lap as Mark pits. He's done his bit for now. 26.2 is extremely good. Into the last couple of corners for Etney. Does he have any more time to find through here? He's going to cross the line. Copy does 26.6. Etney does a 26.3. He does improve, but doesn't go up any positions. And who was that just crossed the line? Danny does a 26.369 as well. So Danny 1,000ths behind Etney. But into third place for Danny. Good stuff from him.
I'm just running on board with Scars. He's up by 2.5 tenths as well. So Scars is definitely improving. Well, he just has to nail these last couple of corners there, and he's going to definitely jump I would say maybe up to P4, maybe even P3.
I was going to say this might be a front row, an all TTG front row, excuse me, here, because Scars has done the last sector very cleanly. He crosses the line, 26.360. It is a 1-2 at the moment, but we do have people on lap still. In fact, Speedy is invalidated, I think, so he's going to finish his lap now. Is that everyone? That might be everyone. Don't think anyone's using any battery, so I think that might be our grid. And I think it is a TTG on their debut, Mark and Scars, putting it 1-2 at Silverstone.
Yeah, and just also get me buzzes here. I think Alexander, the Tier 2 driver, might be joining us as well. So let you know, Alexander, it is available if you can get in, man, in time.
Fantastic. Yeah, we got 18 drivers at the moment, so Alexander would make 19. He made his Tier 1 debut last week in Austria, which lasted, unfortunately for him, only 7 laps. In fact, 6 laps. Hopefully a little bit longer this time. But that is our session, and it is a Red Bull 1-2. Mark and Scars putting it on the front row from Etney, Danny, McKenda, and then Bailey, Copy, Icewind, Jensen, and Speedy, which is insane. A 26.9. In fact, Astro Boys is outside the top 10 with a 26.9. That is how fast this grid is.
It's just laughable, really. I mean, Fox has done a 27.535 on mediums. My fastest, me personally, and I'm nowhere near these guys, is a 27.5 dead on softs.
Yeah.
To put it into perspective, these guys are frighteningly fast. And then you've got Meepo. Of course, he has running no racing line today, so fair play to him. And he managed to keep it on track. I think he only spun once, but yeah.
Yeah.
The problem with these guys is they have quite a number of very fast guys behind them. Luca, Vexit, to name but 2.
Yeah, I have a feeling those guys decided not to qualify. I don't think it was the fact that they bottled their laps. I think they just didn't qualify. So we'll see them come through the field most likely. But there is the 1-2, and Scars rocking a South African flag, and Mark rocking a British flag. No idea if that is their actual nationality, but good stuff from those two, putting it on the front row.
Yes, these two gentlemen, the TTG guys, forgive me, rocking out the front 2 slots. They are, I think, they race in the same league as Danny does in, is it WR?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So naturally fast dudes. And also, before we kick off, I think Alexander's having a little bit of trouble joining. So we might have to do without Alexander, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, Justin saying I had config issues that reset all my setups and settings, so 14 out of the 18 minutes were me trying to fix my game. That really sucks. And apparently Scars is from Port Elizabeth in South Africa, so welcome to him.
And while we're going to get kicked off here, Tara, you can see the sky's a little bit gloomy. Typical British weather. It's unpredictable, isn't it? It's just like you can get an overcast day all day in Britain, and sometimes it rains, sometimes it doesn't.
Well, I'll have to take your word for it, because it's midnight on my screen. I've still got a black screen with a please wait icon, so hopefully it loads for me. Let's keep our fingers crossed, because yeah, GB at night, absolutely. We'll have to wait and see. It is struggling to load, but I'll take your word for it that we might be having some weather in this race.
Yeah, well, we're on the grid here now, Terry. You may be just a bit slow for you to load in. Just give it a chance. Sometimes I find the loading times for F1 can take ridiculously long, but
yeah,
the guys they're on their formation lap now, so
okay,
it is working.
If they're actually on the formation lap, then I'm gonna rejoin, I think. Because I think that probably means that it's broken.
Well, whilst we were doing the business here, covering the action, I got a little tap on my shoulder, Tara.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, what's this? And it was the lovely Kitsune, you'll see here in chat, guys, delivering to me, upon my eyesight here, a wonderful cup of tea.
That is fantastic. I wish I had a cup of tea. All I've got is this bottle of water, which isn't a cup of tea. So yeah, well done to Kitsune for that. That is highly pog. What's not highly probably
Tim-
the fact that
Tim-
I can't close my game, so I'm gonna have to jump in. Hopefully we get in for the start. If we don't, it's gonna be radio commentary from Tipsy, which is gonna be very exciting.
Well, they're coming down the hanger straight now, Tara, so you still have time.
Okay, well, fingers crossed. My game is launching.
Chief saying Kitsune is a top tier wife. I like that. Top tier wife.